My name is Mitch, and this is my oral presentation on the bystander effect for social psychology. The bystander effect is a social phenomenon in which a person or persons are less likely to offer help to another person when there are more people around who can also provide assistance. Many people believe that when there is an emergency and lots of people are present, the people in need are more likely to get assistance. However, this is not exactly the case. Rather, the more people that are there who can help, the less likely each person is to offer help. Thus, when in a group, people are less likely to offer help than when they are alone. An interesting case of this was from 1964 of the murder of Catherine Kitty Genovese. Catherine was murdered in a New York street in 1964, and up to 38 witnesses heard the initial scream from within their apartments, and only one called after the fact. This led to a study that was conducted by Darley and Lanty in 1968, which identified the bystander effect and issues surrounding it. Some potential reasons for the bystander effect: audience inhibition, social influence, and the diffusion of responsibility. Audience inhibition. Any bystander who decides to act and help in an emergency situation is at risk of failing and therefore embarrassment, especially if the situation is in fact not an emergency. The more people present, the greater risk of embarrassment. The mere presence of others can have individuals fearful of their behaviour being evaluated negatively. Social influence. The presence of others contributes to the lack of helping in a social setting, with members of the group looking to others to help define the situation. If the inaction of others is being a factor in someone not being helped, then the inaction either being decided upon by the group or it is a expected behaviour of pattern from within the group. The diffusion of responsibility can in plain terms be identified as reducing the psychological cost of not helping. With others present and not helping, it reduces the cost, and not helping becomes the more likely event, which allows for the responsibility and or blame to be shifted to other members within the group. Some other factors that may influence the bystander effect is the mood of the helper. If you're in a good mood, you're more likely to help. If you're in a bad mood, you're less likely to help. The size of the group. The bigger the group, the more people, the less likely someone is going to, in fact, help. The smaller the group, less people, the more likely someone will, in fact, help. Size of the city or town. People are more likely to help in a smaller town because you're more likely to know the person and can identify with the person, compared to if you're in a big city where the people are in fact strangers and there's more people around, you're less likely to help. And finally, competence. If someone was to help someone in an emergency situation and in fact has first aid or CPR training, the competence and skills that they have leads them to being more likely to act. How can helping behaviour be promoted? Physical attractiveness, norm of reciprocity, and social responsibility. Attractiveness. A study conducted by Harrell in 1978 was identified as two lots of people went out and tried to gain directions or information from people within the community, and found that the people who were more physically attractive were given more time when asking for directions compared to those who were not listed as physically attractive. The attractive people also found that once they gave more information, such as their name or where they were from, the people were more likely to help also. Norm of reciprocity. Doing unto others as you would have done to yourself, which is by and large the helping of others because at a later stage you may need or want help in a similar situation. Social responsibility. Helping others who depend on us without regard for future outcomes.